Let's go ahead in time to Sunday night at 7:30 on ABC.
Yeah.
This game's at 7:30 Eastern. I'm going to be breathing into a paper bag around 2 p.m. Eastern in preparation for this one on Sunday night. It is Notre Dame -2.5 on the road at Miami. Crazy way to open up this game, open up this season with this game.
Yeah.
I am on the record stating that Notre Dame is the better team.
Okay.
And that they're going to win this game. I'm also on record saying that Miami is an 8-4 team. I am not backing down on either front.
Okay.
I can't at this point. I am too invested in both sides of that argument. I actually think that this one looks a lot like Notre Dame's game last year, their opener on the road at Texas A&M.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much of that game you remember. I don't know how much of that game the Verballerhood remembers.
I do. It was a lot of Riley Leonard in this offense sitting on a lead late.
6 of 25 combined on third downs between those two teams. We had 17 total penalties, 11 of which went against Notre Dame. Just 36 total points. The final score was 23-13. The score was tied until late in that game when Jeremiyah Love broke one. So I think that's the kind of game that Notre Dame would like to play here. Like, for as much as everybody has talked about this quarterback contest at Notre Dame and how they're looking to get more pop out of the passing game, which is still very, very true, and I hope it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus Freeman would be thrilled. He would be jumping up. He would be clicking his heels together if this devolved into a battle of defense and field position and time of possession and big, dumb Mario Cristobal football, frankly.
Mario.
Because I think if that's the way that this game goes, that's big-time advantage Notre Dame.
Sure.
Now, unless they had CJ Carr out there throwing interceptions in the preseason as like some kind of propaganda thing, I don't know. I would expect that this game plan is going to be really conservative. It's going to be a lot of emphasis on Jeremiyah Love and Jadarian Price. You get them going. You're somehow able to open it up a little bit down the field, maybe take a shot or two with Jaden Greathouse, Malachi Fields. I don't know. But I'm going to put the over-under at 22.5 for passing attempts for CJ Carr in this game.
Okay.
Because I think they're going to play it close to the vest. I think they're concerned about a back-breaking pick, some sort of freshman mistake. This should be a really good Miami defense. At a minimum, it's going to be a very good front. I think Notre Dame's going to do everything within its power to try and minimize the effect of a new full-time starting quarterback.
And I think Notre Dame respects the best of what Miami can look like up front in rushing the passer and attacking the run. I think there's a lot of good defensive linemen. They're pretty deep there. We'll see how successful they are, but in terms of raw talent and ceiling, I think Miami's going to, the front seven especially, is going to look quite good. We'll see if all these transfers work out. We see if a new defensive coordinator gels. And Corey Heatherman with Miami. I'm going to take Notre Dame here, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
Okay.
But because of how Notre Dame looked in icing that Georgia game, in icing the Penn State game, and yes, they did not win a very crucial game against a MAC team mid-season, but because of how that Notre Dame team grew, if you're telling me that Notre Dame pretty clearly has the big game coach and defensive advantage in week one, I think it travels well enough. And what Notre Dame did on the road against Texas A&M last season as an opener, I think Miami's going to be really good this year. I think to ask them to arrive in week one, even with a home field advantage, but with a quarterback coming off of injury because of a new look receiving core, the offensive line should be great for Miami. But I think it's a tall ask in week one against Notre Dame. And I think Notre Dame will have a better ability to dictate, as you've mentioned already and alluded to, the rhythm of this game.
Right.
And so I think Miami has a great opportunity to win this game playing Notre Dame ball, right? Mario Cristobal wants to do that. He wants to push Notre Dame around up front with an experienced, very talented offensive line, good running back room, quarterback who can take advantage in play action. But I just think Notre Dame is better built for it completely. But again, if you're telling me the final score is 38-34, I'm going to take Miami.
I think that's fair.
They are better built right now with what they were able to do on offense last year with Carson Beck's experience. I think they are a team that can get to 35 faster, but I think Notre Dame is a team who can keep a team to 17 more effectively. So I have, what's the final spread as of this recording?
2.5
in favor of
Notre Dame.
In favor of Notre Dame. Yeah, I'm going to give those points. I'm going to say 24-20 Notre Dame. For your consideration on any podcast player, search Solid Verbal, find us and hit follow or subscribe. It's just that easy.
Yeah, and by the way, I think we're kind of along the same lines here.
I hate it.
I think the matchup that ultimately decides this one is exactly what you pointed out. It's Miami's offensive line against Notre Dame's defensive line.
Sure.
Because my theory all along has been that Miami has to look different on offense this year. They don't have Cam Ward. It's just a different style quarterback. And I expect them to look more like the Georgia offenses that we saw when Carson Beck was at Georgia.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's a perfect replica, but to your point, this is Mario Cristobal's default state. He wants to line you up. He wants to push you around. And I think he'd be wise to use his running back room this year because I do think they've got a lot of depth. It's new guys. It's not Damian Martinez anymore, but they've got enough depth back there to be pretty good. So I think it looks different. I think Carson Beck is pretty good. I'm lukewarm on him being the type of quarterback who can go out there and single-handedly win the game for you. I think that's something he needs to prove this year.
Sure.
My theory this year is that, especially in this game, Miami needs to establish a ground game. And I just think it's going to be tough sledding. So my theory of this one devolves into a defensive slugfest. I think we see a couple turnovers one way or another. I think the difference, much like it was last year in a big spot, is Jeremiyah Love just getting a sliver. Or maybe like we saw in the playoffs, Jaden Greathouse finding some space. I think Notre Dame plays it close. I think Notre Dame uses one of their playmakers. I think they get a big play in space to get enough separation. 26-21 Notre Dame wins on the road.
26-21. Okay. By the way, third and medium is going to be incredible when Miami has the ball. They were the best third down team in America, not just at avoiding 3 and out, but actually like their success rate on third down was incredible. So when they can't just count on 1.5 yards from a back, when they are going to have to make tougher choices on 3rd and 4 at midfield or in their own territory, to me, that's going to be everything.